I would like to invite Camilo Sarmiento. Here we are. Camilo Sarmiento from the Ethics of AI Unit at UNESCO. Please give him a warm welcome. I'm going to give the floor to Camilo as he's going to share with us about the civil society and academia UNESCO Global Network on the Ethics and Policy. This is an extremely important work that he's going to share about. Camilo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Paola. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure today to join you this afternoon to present what we call UNESCO's Global Civil Society Organization and Academic Network on Ethics and Policy. This initiative aims to empower and amplify the voices of civil society and academia in global policy dialogues on AI, while fostering knowledge exchange and capacity building among organizations worldwide. It stands at the heart of our efforts within UNESCO to advance the implementation of the UNESCO recommendation of the ethics of AI and to promote the ethical development, deployment, and use of AI across the globe. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Globethics for inviting UNESCO here today, for its continued commitment to shining a spotlight to civil society critical role in advancing the ethics agenda. In particular, I wish to thank Fadi Daoud and Paola Galvez-Calirgos, who have played a pivotal role in structuring this development of this network thus far. Now, before I go into the details of this network, its creation, its structure, its ambitions, I want to first say how pleased we are at UNESCO to see such a large and diverse audience here to discuss the ethical considerations related to AI. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge India AI for prioritizing ethics by making this gathering an official pre-event of the summit, AI Impact Summit 2026, which is set to be held in February in New Delhi. Between you and me, beyond the innovations that AI could bring to fields of education, science, culture, etc., among others, I would say that its greatest contribution has been bringing ethics to the forefront of the conversation about technological advancements. It has prompted us to revisit a fundamental question. How do we want to live together as a society? And what values should guide how we use technology to shape society? In seeking answers to these questions, I encourage you to count on UNESCO for what I believe this organization is uniquely positioned to facilitate such a global dialogue. I say this for three main reasons. Firstly, UNESCO has a global mandate. At our upcoming General Conference in Samarkand, in Uzbekistan next month, all 194 member states will have an equal vote in shaping the strategic direction of the organization. One country, one vote, ensuring that our work is representative of all regions of the world. Secondly, the UNESCO has a multidisciplinary mandate. Our work spans education, science, culture, communication, but we're also the only UN agency with a mandate on social and human sciences, and bringing ethics directly under our mission. Thirdly, UNESCO has a strong standard-setting role. As a specialist agency of the United Nations, we can set out recommendations and conventions that, after all, can act as global standards on which action can be taken. As you may know, UNESCO is the United Nations organization that promotes cooperation in education, science, culture, and communication to foster peace worldwide. And ethics has been present since its creation. Our first Director General said that if science was to serve peace and human well-being, its application must be linked to a scale of values. And this reflects one of UNESCO's mission: to promote global ethical frameworks for science and technology that respects both technical and cultural differences. For 50 years now, UNESCO has been working to advance the ethics of science and technology. Some key examples of this work include the adoption of the Universal Declaration on Bioethics and Human Rights in 2005, the Declaration on Ethical Principles in relation to climate change in 2017, and the recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence in 2021. That all members, 194 member states, adopted, and remains the only global standard on the ethics of AI. This recommendation sets out 4 core values and 10 principles that member states have endorsed. Yet, as today's event questions, how do we build upon global declarations to concrete actions? This is why the recommendation also sets 11 policy action areas. It's the first step towards operationalizing its values and principles, but it doesn't stop there. Following its adoption, member states ask UNESCO to support them in implementing this recommendation. In response, we have developed a series of practical tools and networks designed to help countries translate the recommendation into meaningful progress on the ground. One of these tools is what we call the Readiness Assessment Methodology, or RAM. It helps countries assess how prepared they are to harness the potential of AI and produce tailored policy recommendations to ensure its implementation aligns with the recommendation's ethical principles and values. I want to stress it's not simply a desk research exercise that is disconnected from the ground. It was really important to make a participatory process, one that brings together representatives from several ministries in the governments, civil society, academia, and the private sector, in a collective effort to understand how prepared the country is and set a path to shape an ethical AI ecosystem. Through our work with now over 70 countries around the world, we have seen, on the RAM, we have seen how important the voices of researchers and civil society organizations are. Not only because they help to ensure that AI policies are grounded in evidence, but also that technological process aligns more closely with societal needs and values. And this is recognized in the recommendation since the beginning, which underscores the crucial role of civil society in advocating for public interest and calls on UNESCO to ensure and promote its legitimacy. So we have seen in the field how important it is to strengthen these voices and to ensure they're meaningfully included in shaping the future of AI. And that is why in 2023, we created a global repository of civil society organizations, supported by the UK Research Innovation, with the intention of facilitating the exchange of good practices and collaboration among them. Allow me to take a moment to thank Dr. Emilia Stojmenova, who is here today. Her leadership as Minister for Digital Transformation of the Republic of Slovenia was determinant for the success of the second Global Forum, The Ethics of AI in 2024, in which this repository was launched. Yet, what began as a repository has grown into something far more ambitious, thanks to the strong commitment of its members and the support for the Patrick J. McGovern Foundation. This initiative has now evolved into what we proudly call the Global Civil Society and Academic Network on the Ethics of AI. That was launched at the third Global Forum on the Ethics of AI held in Bangkok in June 2025. Our goal was not to create just another network, but one that truly served the needs of its members. We wanted a community that bridges silos between sectors, connects regions, and builds one on another's expertise. And from this vision and the participatory approach we use, came 5 thematic subgroups that structure the network. The first is the civil is the Empowering Citizens and Civil Society in AI Governance subgroup, led by our hosts, Globethics. This subgroup aims to ensure that citizens and civil society organizations everywhere can play a stronger role in shaping AI governance. It will do so through training programs for civil society, with a particular focus on the Global South, building knowledge on AI ethics and advocacy techniques. Its mission is clear: to empower participants to contribute meaningfully to national and global policy dialogues, such as the upcoming India AI Impact Summit in February 2026. The second is the Environment and Ecosystems subgroup. It's co-led by C-Minds and Tactical Tech, and this subgroup aims to develop a shared foresight agenda at the intersection between environment and ecosystems, fostering a more anticipatory approach with civil society and academia. And its initial initiatives include contributed to the development of the UNESCO's upcoming AI and Environment Policy Toolkit, and establishing a strategic foresight framework that helps civil society and policymakers anticipate future trends and challenges in the AI environment nexus. The third is the IP and Culture subgroup. It's co-led by AI Impact Alliance and IT for Change. This subgroup aims to defend digital and cultural sovereignty in the age of generative AI. It will explore how intellectual property and copyright laws can evolve to protect artists, creators, and traditional knowledge holders, while keeping the cultural commons open and fair. The subgroup will produce a public resource hub, including a range of case studies to highlight communities-led responses to the cultural and ethical challenge of AI. The fourth is the International AI Redlines subgroup. It's co-led by the Future Society and the Ada Lovelace Institute. This subgroup aims to strengthen international consensus about AI uses that are considered fundamentally incompatible with the values outlined in international texts such as the recommendation. Through workshops and regional dialogues, this subgroup will explore legal pathways and international mechanisms to prevent the most harmful uses of AI. Finally, the AI and the public sector subgroup, co-led by Derechos Digitales. This subgroup aims to enhance transparency and accountability in how governments use AI. It will focus on building the first open global repository that maps where and how AI is being deployed by public institutions. And this will provide evidence helping to ensure that AI systems used by states respect human rights and serve all citizens equitably, especially those from marginalized communities. I take this opportunity, seeing that Arpita Kanjilal is with us, to thank her and the Digital Empowerment Foundation for their active participation in the development of the network. Now, I must say I can't wait to see where these initiatives will lead us. Among the many discussions I have had the privilege to witness since I joined UNESCO, some of the most inspiring have come from similar initiatives, such as the Coalition on Linguistic Diversity, where representatives of indigenous communities from the global north, from North America and New Zealand, despite very different contexts, discussed synergies in their approach. Witnessing this exchange reminded me just how powerful these platforms can be in connecting communities from around the world and inspiring shared understanding and cooperation. That is, in essence, the spirit we hope to see in each of the network subgroups. Spaces where experts and practitioners come together, learn from one another, and advance a truly global and inclusive ethical vision for AI. Our goal, and my personal hope, is that this network become not just a structure, but a living community. And to echo the conversation in the roundtable this morning, let's make sure this is one of the entry points that are needed. A space that empowers its members, informs policy, strengthens accountability, and above all, ensures that technological progress serves humanity rather than the other way around. Thank you very much for your kind attention.